All right, hello everyone. My name is Mike Rabb. I'm the Executive Director here at the Garage at Northwestern University, and I'd like to welcome you to JumpStart Demo Day 2024. So JumpStart is Northwestern's pre-accelerator program where we give students $10,000 and 10 weeks of programming to work on their startups full-time over the summer here at the Garage, with the goal of helping them make as much progress as possible. Now, typically, JumpStart cohorts are made up of 10 teams, but after receiving over 80 applications this winter and spring, we accepted and invited 12 outstanding teams into the cohort this summer, which you're about to see in a few minutes. One of the things you'll notice is the range not only of the student background and experience in studies, representing nearly every school at Northwestern and every level of study, but also the range of what they're working on, from AI to consumer products to medical devices, to even toys. And one of the things I always like to talk about is how students here at the Garage are solving the problems that they see in the world and bringing their ideas to life. And I think there's no greater testament to that than Demo Day today, which you're about to see. But I know you're all here for the pitches, but before we get started, I'd like to thank everyone who it takes to put on JumpStart each summer, which includes our donors, the team here at the Garage, as well as over 30 individuals inside and outside of Northwestern who serve as mentors, as speakers, workshop hosts, judges, and many more. And the progress that they've made would not be possible without all of your help. So thank you all. So you're about to see each team pitch for 5 minutes. This is actually the second time that they're pitching today. So they all pitched this morning to a panel of 3 judges, followed by 5 minutes of Q&A. Those judges have already decided the first, second, and third prize winners for Demo Day today. But there's one award left to be decided, which is the audience favorite vote, which you will all get to vote for at the end of the program. And finally, before we get started, I would just like to congratulate and thank all of the JumpStart participants for your hard work, for the progress that you've made, but also, most importantly, for building a collaborative community, supporting each other, and really helping each other be more successful. And I encourage you to continue that beyond tonight. So thank you all and congratulations. And with that, good luck, and let's get started.
So Adrian and I first started this journey as teacher aides in 5th grade classrooms. Walking around, we saw that 90% of the students truly weren't making the best use of classroom time. Everyone was given the same handout, and while some powered through it in seconds, others would fill in gibberish, and others would just tear it to shreds.
Confused by this mix of behavior, we set out to interview 136 educators, and here is what they said.
We got a group of 25 students, and I would say probably 5 to 10 of them need accommodation.
Meeting kids where they are and their skills development.
Making sure that I am teaching to each student's needs and strengths. Takes a lot of time.
Differentiation.
You heard it yourself. In today's diverse classrooms, one-size-fits-all teaching simply fails to meet the unique needs of every student. Simultaneously, teachers are far too overwhelmed to personalize instruction, hindering student, teacher, and institution success metrics.
Let's break down the average American classroom with a typical class size of around 20 students. It's likely that you have your English language learners who recently moved to the States,
Students with attention deficit disorders,
students with reading challenges like dyslexia,
students who are substantially underperforming, especially since COVID setbacks.
and gifted students who habitually disrupt their peers purely out of boredom.
Introducing Whizlab, an AI platform empowering teachers to create personalized learning materials in seconds.
So here's how it works. Teachers simply drag and drop an existing worksheet that they have. Then they tell us what specific accommodations they'd like for each new worksheet version. And then finally, we transform that one original worksheet into multiple. One that caters to Anna's developing English, one for Theo's dyslexia, and one for Sam's advanced math.
Remember this Words of Christmas worksheet? With Whizlab, teachers can now generate infinite versions catered to extra support or challenge, just like this one for English learners. They can now use these to extra support their students who need help with translations, visual support, and additional practice. And yes, with the boom of AI, there's been plenty of AI edtech startups, but we actually listen to teachers, and turns out they don't want that. What they want is something that can turbocharge their current practices to meet each student's unique needs.
This summer, we reconnected with our own teachers, launched targeted outreach campaigns boosted by our university support to build a community of early adopters. One of which, who's been using our prototype since the first day it launched, has generated 63 worksheets over the course of 7 weeks, saving her from a self-reported 32 hours of manual differentiation time.
And it's not just her. This JumpStart summer, we've onboarded 52 teachers who have told us that they'd cling on to our beta to get their weekends back, while administrators are relying on us to address their staffing shortage, budget restraints, and spiraling test scores.
As much as our testers loved it, we're in a constant pursuit for improvement. That's why we've created our Teacher Ambassador Network for our most active users to not only help us spread the word, but to build the product alongside us. We also have 10 partner nonprofit, public, and private schools who are excited to pilot our free beta next month, setting us up to reach 1,000 teachers.
So here's the game plan. We start by offering a free version to individual teachers, making them internal advocates for a paid product at just $9.99 a month. This helps us establish a foothold in individual schools, allowing us to scale those relationships up to district-wide sales, promising larger contracts and broader impact. By converting our 10 pilot institutions into long-term contracts and getting 36 paying teachers each month, we're set to reach 100,000 in ARR by this time next year.
We've narrowed down our beachhead market to be high expenditure K-8 public schools in Illinois. And within the next 2 years, we hope to expand that to other US states with robust education systems. We're also here to dispel the rumor that schools are not willing to pay for edtech products. Within the context of Whizlab, we look to serve underserved populations who receive additional federal and private funding, but only through competitive grant processes. That's why Whizlab was designed to align perfectly with the key criteria that grantors look for, enabling schools to access Whizlab and beyond.
Our team of learning scientists, AI specialists, and exited founders have joined hands to ensure every student gets a classroom experience they deserve, because no child should ever feel too ashamed to participate or too understimulated to engage. At Whizlab, we take on one classroom at a time,
Letting every student shine.
thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Israel,
And I'm Trevor Abbott.
and we are the founders of HaptE. Today, we're here to talk to you about the future of data collection.
I had my first exposure to physical therapy 3 years ago when my brother experienced a hand injury requiring treatment. While he did benefit from the treatment, his therapist had difficulty targeting, tracking, and treating his injury effectively, leading to a drawn-out, expensive, and frustrating healing journey.
At the beginning of JumpStart, we spoke with patients, doctors, and clinics, and they all said that tracking patient progress was a common issue. Turns out, as Dr. Alticlay put it, they never get a full picture of patient recovery.
Today, physical therapy treatment is subjective, incomplete, and slow. PTs use qualitative metrics, like a 1 to 5 scale, to assess patient abilities. Without continuous quantitative data, they only see a snapshot of progress. Uninformed treatment slows recovery, extending PT for months or even to the point where some people lose insurance coverage.
As a result, out of the 50 million people that undergo physical therapy every year, 70% of patients don't adhere to exercises, leading to poor outcomes and prolonged recovery.
And so, we created HaptE, where we are building data sensing gloves to track patient progress, visualize their healing journey, and motivate recovery.
Our gloves use motion, bending, and pressure sensors to collect data about the patient's hand movements and their grip strength. We also incorporate force feedback, simulating the amount of force patients should be able to resist during their exercises. This way, they don't need to purchase any additional products. Finally, we convert all of this data into measurable metrics like speed and strength and share it with both doctors and patients through our user interface. Showing the trend of their progress, we motivate the 70% of patients to do their exercises.
We are bringing tangible data to physical therapy. First, a patient is assessed and introduced to our glove and app in the clinic. The patient then uses the glove at home, syncing data to the app and allowing the PT to remotely see progress and adjust treatment. When the patient returns to the clinics for follow-ups, the PT can actually see whether the patient did their exercises. Finally, after treatment, the patient returns the glove to the clinic.
While our competitors are focusing on on-site solutions for physical therapy, our product is the only viable option for remote, hand-centered physical therapy, combining portable and affordable technologies for intuitive data collection.
We license the gloves to the clinic for $500 a year, with a build cost of only $300. The real value, though, comes from the data we analyze for $8,000 a year per practitioner. For a small clinic with 3 practitioners and 15 pairs of gloves, we expect an ARR of $32,000. Expanding to just 14 more clinics, we expect an ARR of $500,000. The best part is the data and the analytics are billable under insurance, making it affordable for patients and driving clinical profitability.
In fact, the data and the analytics is what makes HaptE not just a product, but a vision for the future. We're honing in on mastering a platform technology, low-cost sensing gloves that capture motion, biometrics, and location to provide hand insights for different industries. The purpose of HaptE is to create a new way to collect data using your hands.
We will initially launch in the healthcare industry, given the immediate yes we've received from our customers. We will then quickly adapt to new markets, building out the technology for manufacturing and logistics to optimize individual safety and efficiency, and ultimately train the future of robotics.
At the beginning of JumpStart, we reached out to 100 potential customers. We then finished our first prototype and established strong connections with physicians at Feinberg and Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. Most importantly, we've secured pilot agreements from Drs. Rush and Reverie, who will be testing our beta prototype and offering us feedback by the end of 2024. We have also gained interest from Berkshire Grey, a leading robotic automation company, and DHL for our future data collection models.
Victoria and I both study mechanical engineering, with Victoria's focus in biomedical and mine in material science. Together, we make the perfect team for building a data sensing glove. From physical therapy to the greater vision, give us a hand in building the future of data collection.
Thank you.
Hello, we are Insta English, which is a personal English-speaking coach in your pocket. I'm Yutaro, born and raised in Japan. In high school, I ranked 16th nationally in English exam. This accomplishment inspired me to move to the US. However, upon arrival, I faced unexpected challenges. I struggled with even daily conversations with my friends. That breeds frustration, isolation, and loneliness. But why did it happen to me? There are 2 types of vocabulary. Passive vocabulary, what you can understand only in text. Active vocabulary, what you can use effectively while speaking. The traditional methods like textbooks, audios, videos can boost your passive vocabulary. Major learning apps like Duolingo paves this introductory pathway. However, increasing your passive vocabulary doesn't guarantee your active fluency. The common advice has always been vague. Speak, speak, and just speak. This approach led me to spend thousands of hours in aimless English tutoring sessions, making little progress in my actual speaking fluency. Until now, bridging this gap efficiently remains an unsolved puzzle. Enter Insta English. We provide English learners with a clear, quantified path to conversational fluency. Let me touch on some numbers to tell you that we are working on something. We launched our iOS app for the Japanese market 7 months ago. Since then, we've reached 10,000 downloads, 353 paying users, and $13,000 annual recurring revenue. This is a quick demo. User sees a question in Japanese. That means, how can I dispose of this product? The user is challenged to translate this Japanese sentence into English. The user says, how can I go away this product? The app provides feedback. It's not correct. Go away is not appropriate here. you should use dispose of instead. So the correct answer is, how can I dispose of this product? In this way, users get instant tailored feedback on their English. In addition, in every correct answer, Insta English records active vocabulary, the words used correctly in the app. We set users' goals to 2,000 active words that cover 90% of daily conversations. Based on users' past personal active vocabulary database, Insta English is able to recommend the quizzes that maximize the increase in users' active vocabulary size. Thus, we redefine speaking practice. The traditional aimless methods encourage users to just speak, and speak. Insta English quantifies the speaking improvement process and helps learners achieve conversational fluency with 2,000 active words effectively and quickly. Our users have enthusiastically embraced our method. They have made 200,000 attempts in the past 7 months. We acquire customers with targeted ads across social media. Of those who download our app, 10% initiate 7-day free trial. 90% of the free trial users upgrade to monthly subscription priced at $5. 86% of the paying subscribers remain active the following month, demonstrating the strong satisfaction. For the unit economics, we generate a revenue of $5 per month per user. We get profits of $3.50 per month. The average subscription spans 10 months, resulting with the LTV of $35. After subtracting $12 CAC, we get profits of $23 per user. We started Insta English from Japan with the lowest speaking scores globally. With 1 million active English learners, we expect up to $60 million annual revenue. We aim to expand to Asian countries with similarly low speaking scores, such as Korea, Vietnam, Thailand. They collectively boast 2 million active English learners, and we expect up to $120 million annual revenue from these 3 markets. Finally, I'm proud of my fully equipped multilingual team to globalize this Insta English. We launched this business 100% in-house, all within 3 months, alongside a full-time MBA program. Insta English is excited to build a world where every non-native speaker has a personal coach in their pocket and explores the world more confidently. Thank you.
I'm Dean, building WeAreNesian, a marketing agency for Nesian small businesses. But I've got a confession to make. I probably shouldn't even be here. I'm not working on some fancy AI tech company. I'm not building the next billion-dollar idea, and honestly, I'm not even looking to raise money. But the reason I'm here is because of this. Here's me when I was a kid, and as you might be able to tell from the start of this pitch, I am a proud Nesian, a proud Pacific Islander. And my love for my people and our culture set me on a mission to help other Nesians provide and make time for our families. Shout out to my mom in the audience who flew in this morning to watch this. So with this mission in mind, I went out and built a podcast and community for Nesian business owners, where I had 14 podcast interviews, brought on 4 paying members, and even made $1,400. But through all of that, I had more than 70 conversations with Nesian business owners, and 3 major themes kept coming up, again and again and again. First, their marketing is stuck in the past, like Coach V, who when I first met him, didn't even have a website. So all the customers would come to him and want to buy, but they would slip through the cracks. But here's the kicker. He's not alone. This senior living business had the very same problem. And it's the same story for these businesses, or these ones, or these ones, or these ones. Now, I could keep going on and on, but at the end of the day, so what, Dean? They don't have websites, their marketing kind of sucks. There's hundreds of tools out there that'll help them solve this problem. More than 50,000 marketing agencies, each of them with proven playbooks that work for any given industry you can think of. So, easy solution, right? Just plug one of those in and bam, off to the races. Well, it's not that simple. Because when I asked Willie, a Nesian small business owner, why he's not working with any of those agencies, he says, they're shady. Simply put, these Nesian small business owners don't know who they can trust. And Leslie is no different. On our first call, he was hesitant to work with me because he's been burned. But as we kept talking, we broke the ice a bit more. He asked me a question that to this day has stuck with me. He asked me, when have I spent time on the islands? And that question, along with all the other conversations, made me realize that Nesian business owners are willing to trust other Nesians because of our shared sense of identity, culture, and values. Remember Coach V, who when I first met him didn't even have a website? Well, we got him up and running with a website, made him a sales funnel, then ran ads to that funnel, making him $1,247 in 1 month. But here's the kicker. He's not alone. We helped this senior living business do the very same thing. Set them up with a website, made a sales funnel, then ran ads to that funnel, making them $4,300 in 1 month. To be honest, this isn't groundbreaking stuff. But for these Nesian small businesses, it has a major impact. After we set them up with a website and sales funnel, then run some ads, we've been able to generate $1,000, even $4,000 in revenue, which is why they're willing to pay $500 per month. Right now, we're already at 12,000 ARR, and we only need 15 more clients to hit 100,000 ARR. And I think we'll get there by the end of this year because, one, this is a simple business. All we're doing is bringing these Nesian small businesses into 2024 by helping them get customers online. On top of that, we've proven it already works with the 2 clients we have on board, and there's a clear path forward for how we're going to get more because there's one thing, one differentiator that sets us apart from all the 50,000 agencies that are out there, and that's trust, because we are Nesian.
Hi, I'm Ajit, a 5th-year PhD candidate at Northwestern working in the hearing aid lab. I've always been passionate about sound and hearing, especially how technology can be improved to benefit those with hearing loss. Throughout my research, I've found that hearing aids often fall short of delivering the best possible user experiences, leading to poor outcomes. Globally, over 20 million hearing aids are sold each year, and for every one of these hearing aids, processing sounds in noisy environments is the greatest challenge. A large part of this challenge is because converting sounds from physical to digital accounts for almost 20 to 30% of a hearing aid's power. Traditional methods struggle because they know what the sounds are, but not when exactly they occur. So let me give you a small example. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and I'm going to clap at 1. 1, 2, 3. Because you knew when the clap was going to occur, your ear can do some cool things to prepare for it. But the hearing aids of today are not so smart, and they consider the clap to have been there for the entire count, applying more processing and draining battery life. KosiSonic solutions know what sounds are there and exactly when they occur, making hearing aids that use our solutions more adaptive, changing their processing requirements with the kind of situations they're faced with, reducing the computational load and increasing the battery life of the hearing aid. And as we move towards AI, our lighter, more efficient systems are better for them, as they draw less energy. The benefit to the manufacturer is that our algorithm sits on a smaller chip footprint, which means that each manufacturer can have more features on a single chip or choose to lower the cost of manufacturing by producing a smaller chip. Now, let me give you a brief demonstration about how our technology works. Imagine you're in a noisy restaurant and it's difficult to understand what anyone's saying.
British Petroleum moved up 3 1/2 to 64 7/8.
First, this is input into our algorithm, which denoises the speech from the noise.
British Petroleum moved up 3 1/2 to 64 7/8.
And finally separates the speech into individual streams that the hearing aid user can choose when they're at the dinner table or at the restaurant.
British Petroleum moved up 3 1/2 to 64 7/8.
During the following years, he tried unsuccessfully to get it into production.
These are outputs from the actual algorithm that we have. Over the past 10 weeks, we validated our approach by targeting outreach to each of our stakeholders. We spoke to hearing aid users, clinicians who serve a large populations of patients, smaller sole practitioners, as well as educators in the hard of hearing space. We spoke to hearing aid manufacturers who sell more than 1 million hearing aids a year, entrants from different sectors who are trying to break into the hearing aid market, and smaller manufacturers and startups that sell less than 500,000 hearing aids a year. And 2 problems resonated with all of them. speech and noise, and battery life. Through our outreach, we also had close interest from 3 of the smaller manufacturers, specifically Concha Labs, Novidan, and Hearix. These manufacturers don't have in-house engineering teams and rely on external developers to provide them with solutions for their hearing aids. When we asked what a licensing deal would look like, Concha Lab manufactures 240,000 hearing aids a year. According to our conversations, we would receive $20 of revenue per device that uses our solutions, which would give us a projected annual revenue of $4.8 million. Over fall, we will put our algorithms on chipsets and put them through the paces of the real world, continue our manufacturer outreach to secure licensing and partnership agreements, and apply for SBIR Phase 1 grants up to $200,000. We will then in winter launch our software, apply for NIH grant funding of up to $250,000, and then start the process of securing our intellectual assets with patent applications. We have clinical audiologists, machine learning engineers, audio and digital signal processing engineers, and myself and my background in sound design, acoustical studies, and hearing loss research, which gives the team an expertise to holistically challenge the problem of speech and noise. So join us as we make hearing smarter.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I'm the founder of Swarm. We're redefining the way the world stays protected from insect-borne diseases, creating the next iconic brand of bug spray. Last year, I backpacked the world, and everybody was shocked that my friend caught dengue fever. Who would have thought that one mosquito bite would lead to a weekend in the hospital? But it's actually not that surprising, because 1 in 10 people will contract an insect-borne disease in their lifetime. And it's not just overseas. Outbreaks of West Nile, Triple E, and dengue have all occurred in my hometown this year. And ticks carrying Lyme disease poses a constant threat throughout the Northeast. Now with global warming, these outbreaks are predicted to increase by 300% by 2030. One of the most effective solutions is bug spray, but the problem is nobody wants to wear it. The LA Times reports that low bug spray usage is due to the lack of appealing options. The reality is, people don't like the smell or feel. So we sought to create a solution, a bug spray that feels so good you'll actually want to use it. Swarm is launching our first product, a lightweight moisturizing anti-bug lotion, a thoughtful alternative to traditional sprays. Our formula smells great, absorbs quickly into the skin, and is effective at repelling bugs. Packaged in a recyclable aluminum tube, our lotion will come in a 10 milliliter travel size and 100 milliliter full size, which is lightweight and can easily fit in a pocket or a purse. We also created a custom cap that can attach onto a keychain for on-the-go use, so you can finally be bug-free during dog walks, outdoor dinners, or barbecues with friends, without having to smell bad and feel gross. Swarm is uniquely positioned in the market as an everyday insect repellent, and research shows that my generation makes purchases based on aesthetics, convenience, and sustainability, which are all values that is central to Swarm's mission. To launch, we are leveraging our 50-person pilot ambassador program to target key groups to build a tight-knit community and brand recognition. In just 10 weeks, our team has been able to ideate, prototype, and finalize our regulation requirements, formulation, packaging, and design. We quickly secured our end-to-end supply chain, and were persistent to find the manufacturers that best suited our needs. We contacted over 100 different formulators and packagers and prioritized small minimums to control inventory, manage cash flow, and minimize risk. We found a US-based manufacturer that agreed to custom formulate our product with zero R&D, and our flexible fulfillment allows us to scale as we grow while maintaining a small first run. Despite our small minimums, we managed to keep our costs exceptionally low. Our cost of goods lands at $1.70 for the travel size and $3.67 for the full size. Selling at $6 and $12, we're positioned to create an impressive 70% average profit margin while still maintaining affordability for our customers. Our bottom line sales are projected at $38,000 for just our first run. With proven success in creating better alternatives to commodity goods, the razor, deodorant, and sunscreen industries have transformed with brands like Billy, Native, and Sunbum. Sunbum was also created out of the idea to protect its community. They created a lotion that surfers would actually want to use. In just 9 years, their sales grew to $70 million annually, and they were acquired by S.C. Johnson in 2019. and the bug spray market is growing. Investors predict a 7% annual compound growth rate over the next 5 years, and Swarm is already making headlines. According to veteran journalist Claire McCormick, renowned for breaking big beauty trends, bug spray is the next big consumer investment opportunity. And our team is fully equipped to seize this untapped market. At 16, I founded a clothing company that sold over $100,000 worth of clothes. We garnered over 100 million impressions and were featured on Vox, The Today Show, and O Magazine, all with a $0 ad spend. Now, with 5 more years of experience, we have access to new resources, an expanded network, and we are ready to take on this promising new market. Join us in forging a new era of bug spray. Thank you.
I used to be a high achiever in high school. However, after getting to college, I struggled. Classes were much harder. I tried to do well at first, but my grades started to slip. I have to spend more time on studying and have no time for socializing. I don't have friends. A bad day turns into a bad week. As time went on, the frustration built up. Eventually, I ended up in a situation where I was truly alone. I didn't even have energy to reach out for help. Days after days, all I did was lay down in my room and scrolling through the internet all day. I'm Hao.
And I'm Ian, and this is a common case we found with many university students. Time after time, emotionally vulnerable individuals will go down a slippery slope due to the lack of support and high pressure in university, leading their lives to stagnate. This problem is more apparent than ever, with nearly half of all Gen Zs stating that they have experienced this so-called rut. So in order to better understand this problem, we asked one question to all our interviewees. Why is it so hard to get out of a rut? And in almost every response, we found the same 3 reasons. 1, lack of self-esteem. Students tend to doubt themselves, feeling stuck in a cycle of low confidence. 2, lack of positive feedback. Students struggle to initiate change without seeing immediate results. And 3, lack of guidance. Without clear direction, many students can feel lost and isolated, unsure of where to begin. So the natural follow-up question to this was, how have you tried to get help so far? People in a rut either don't have close friends or aren't comfortable talking to them about their issues, which is one of the reasons they're in a rut in the first place. Therapy and university support networks can be extremely helpful, but reaching out to them requires a lot of emotional energy, something you don't have when you can't even get out of bed. On the other hand, online resources such as YouTube and community forums may give accessible momentary advice, but they don't provide the continuous support required to improve in the long run. That's why at Inner Work, we've developed Abeni. She's an interactive wellness companion that helps university students get out of ruts step by step. In fact, Abeni can be used in 3 easy steps. Before going to bed at night, check in with Abeni, answering her questions specifically curated for you. Abeni will then analyze the conversation and give you insights into your emotions. Finally, she'll give you action items that, when completed, will help you regain a sense of control. We're only 2 weeks in since launching on the App Store, and the Abeni community has already completed nearly 50 check-ins. But with such an early stage product, how do we have the conviction that Abeni will work in the long run? It's because she addresses the 3 root problems mentioned earlier. Greater confidence. With AI-generated insights, Abeni helps users form a positive mindset that assists them to identify their internal strengths and available resources. Positive feedback. More importantly, we take this process very incrementally, with prescribed action items usually taking less than a minute to complete, helping users regain that sense of control. Continuous guidance. All in all, Abeni helps users get the guidance they need in order to get out of a rut. But don't take it from us. Take it from our tests on Reddit. feedback has been extremely positive, with one user even stating that Abeni's response was the perfect answer. We plan to initially expand distribution on Reddit, where many are already looking for advice on how to get out of a rut. After expanding to campus, targeting incoming freshmen through Welcome Week and clubs, we hope to eventually sell directly to universities through B2B transactions. We are confident not only in our product, but especially our team. All team members are willing to adapt to new iterations and will continue working full-time in the fall. When getting out of a rut, it's the little things that make the biggest difference, and Abeni helps turn small steps into meaningful change, one check-in at a time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'm a robotics PhD student. Or at least I was, until I decided to start a toy company. Coming to Northwestern, I wanted to start a company, but using my research. Then I learned that foundational research hardly ever reaches commercialization. So I set aside the idea of starting a company, until I created these. The shape was mind-bending. The click of the magnets, addicting. But most of all, they were fun, and I couldn't stop playing with them. Pretty soon, other students started playing with them too. Some even offering to buy them. That's when the idea for Sanook was born. But just because we had a fun prototype didn't mean we had a business. We didn't even know who we were selling them to. Our first thought, like everybody else, toys are for kids. So we gave them to kids, and they loved them. I promise they're smiling. But parents were worried about sharp points. They were worried about choking hazards. But most of all, they were worried about magnets. And while we wrestled with this, we remembered who had fun playing with them in the first place. They were students. They were working professionals. They were adults. So yeah, toys are for kids. But maybe they're for adults too. To find out what adults like, we conducted design research, and we talked to them. And we learned 3 main things that adults look for. First, they want something that's repetitive, that they can use mindlessly in the background while they're working. 2, they want something that's aesthetically pleasing, that doesn't look like a child's toy and that they don't mind being seen with. And 3, they want something that's portable, small enough to fit in their pocket or throw in their backpack and take with them on the go. So we got to work on the product. We changed the way we made it. We changed the colors. We changed the size. We even experimented with different materials until we arrived at Dodex, a fidget for adults. The click of the magnets, still addicting, but now small enough to fit in your pocket. And the classic coloring makes it feel more like a piece of modern art than it does a toy. To test the interest, we did what anybody else our age would do. We posted on social media. The first video, almost 15,000 views. Another, almost 14,000. People were commenting. I even had people reaching out to me on LinkedIn about these. But it wasn't just individuals, it was companies, like Spin Master, who's responsible for the Rubik's, and they requested samples of them. But one question we couldn't have foreseen that adults kept asking over and over, how do I use them? For us, it was simple. You just click them and flip them, and you have fun. You can build cool things. And children would take that and run with it. But adults needed some sort of purpose. A fidget just wasn't enough. Then we remembered what we like to do. We do the Sudokus. We solve the daily crosswords. We play the New York Times games every single day. What if Dodex could become a puzzle? So we designed some cards and we ran some test ads. One marketing Dodex as a fidget, another as a puzzle. And we saw more traffic driven to our website after spending less money, and our cost per click got cut in half. Dodex went from being a fidget for adults to a fidget puzzle for adults. And because we are marketing towards adults and working professionals, we're positioning Dodex as a premium retail product at a price of $49.95. With a cost of goods sold of just under $29, that leaves a profit margin of $21 per unit. Our manufacturing partner has a minimum order quantity of 1,000 sets. In addition to upfront tooling and sampling costs, our first production run will cost under $30,000. We're launching a Kickstarter this fall to fund that first production run, followed by finalizing the design for manufacturing, production, fulfillment of the Kickstarter, and then launching for retail sales this fall. We're a team of students, designers, and engineers, but most of all, we're people that enjoy having fun and love to create products so other people can have fun too. We are Sanook, and we make toys that you won't be embarrassed to play with at work.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard Huo, and this is Consilier. We help video creators get more views before they post. I was a TikTok creator with over 120 videos, getting 7 million views and 58,000 followers. For any starting creator, this is where they wanted to be. It was part of the dream. And throughout that dream, I learned that through the path to channel growth, getting this into a career is getting views and keeping viewers interested, the most basic parts of succeeding on any social platform. But under the surface, it was actually a lot of swimming in the dark. It took me countless hours and calls with creator friends to figure out that secret formula and how to tick those levers. It took me 2 years of trial and error to get to where I was, and for every one video that really popped off, 5 of them would flop. This is one of the creators, hundreds of creators that I've been fortunate to meet over my journey. And you can see him tearing his hair out over how best to make this thumbnail to capture audience's attentions. And if it's a learnable skill, then surely it must be a teachable skill, right? We can get the pros to tell us the secrets for a price, but that price is usually too much for younger creators. We didn't have hundreds of dollars to spend per month, so what if we could turn to creator suites, these software packages, promising a silver bullet for everything like vidIQ and TubeBuddy? No, they gave us unactionable fluff metrics, things that we could already go into our YouTube studio and see that, hey, we know what content could use work. We just needed to know what that work was and how to make our videos better. So that's why we built Consilier. Consilier analyzes the content itself before a flop. We do thumbnail and title analysis and transcript retention analysis, allowing creators to submit a draft into Consilier, which provides data-backed suggestions using our proprietary models, and then allow them to create a final draft, which will give them the biggest shot at uploading a banger. We optimize click-through actionably. We take a look at the thumbnail's visual clutter, color characteristics, foreground size, content of the image itself, and provide actionable feedback on how to make those things more appealing to viewers on YouTube. We optimize retention actionably. We take a script, sentence by sentence, and break it down and show creators how best they can change it so that viewers will stay on throughout. This is our power user, Pixel Rory. He started as a very small League of Legends YouTuber, then found his group with Overwatch game theory videos, averaged 23,000 views, and he started to get a taste of that dream and figured out he wanted more. So he tried Consilier, and he liked it so much that he'd use it for every video going forward and averaged 36,000 views after, even reaching his first 100,000 plus video. And to know that we are actually doing the work, this video performed the highest in terms of retention, that blue line showing how many viewers are staying on throughout the video compared to his historical data. To also prove this, we created our own YouTube channel, starting at 0, and we delivered using Consilier results that are basically unheard of for a starting channel, knowing that the quality writing and the quality thumbnails that we're putting out is creating 1,000 subs and 48,000 views for the first video. Here are more wins. We have 20 users. They analyzed 80 videos so far, and for every video we've been able to produce a 1 to 10% increase in retention on every video. And here's how Consilier will grow, and we'll keep delivering those wins to creators. We're getting into partnerships with B2B clients, such as that content agency we have with 50 clients providing us with data on thumbnails and retention, and also creator referral system, allowing creators who see value in this product to suggest to their friends who might need it too. In-house marketing, of course, we're going to continue our YouTube channel and also make others to prove that what we're doing is actually working and reaching out to creators and showing them how we can provide value to them. All for a low price of $15 a month to begin. Certainly less than the coaches, certainly less than $90 a month that vidIQ and TubeBuddy are offering, and smarter as well. So here are the next steps. We're going to finalize our thumbnail click-through rate optimization using computer vision. We're going to incorporate a proprietary retention and natural language processing model to beat all of the LLM wrappers out there by the end of 2024. We're going to incorporate video multimodal analysis beyond YouTube, some feature that our users and the hundreds of creators that I've interviewed have been begging for. Integrate it with editing and distribution platforms, and expanding beyond social media content. Here's our team. We are a team of creators, we're a team of engineers, computer vision specialists that are passionate about bridging the link between your attention span and the content that creators produce. Let's give creators the intel that they've been missing. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Rachel Vadon, and I'm the founder of Locago. With 5 years of experience in the retail space, I'm super excited to share with you a modern way to shop local. Let's get started. Meet Chrissy. She's a small business owner of Violet Hawthorne down in Andersonville. Her store is open 40 hours a week, and she works an additional 10 hours behind the scenes to make that happen. Despite actively managing a Shopify site, a TikTok, and an Instagram, she only sees 10% of her sales come through digital channels. In 2024, that's egregiously low. Think about your shopping habits, your online and offline. And I thought back to myself. Back in January, I was looking for a brown leather jacket. I looked on TikTok, then I looked on Instagram. I continued to Google and Pinterest to refine my search, and I found this jacket on Revolve. During this entire journey, I didn't see a single small business come up. But then down the street in Evanston, I saw Madison Grace's brown leather jacket, and at a pretty comparable price. And it got me thinking, why aren't customers shopping locally, and why can't we find stores online? So I went out and I spoke to 200 customers and 60 small business owners across the Chicago area. And I learned a couple of things. The first one has to do with how we shop. On one end of the spectrum, you shop without intent, as a social activity with friends on the weekend. Your average spend is going to be low, and your use of digital is probably going to be limited to a quick Google search on maps. But the odds that you're shopping at a small business on a main street is very high, and that's where Chrissy is winning. But on the other end of the spectrum, when you're a utility shopper looking for that brown leather jacket, your average spend is much higher, but your use of digital tools is peppered throughout your customer journey. But the odds that you're shopping at that small business is very low. And that's where the huge gap is. We can't discover these small businesses digitally. The second thing that I learned is that what customers say, 83% say that they want to shop a small business, it's not what they do. And they don't do it because it feels decentralized across too many stores. It's time intensive, and honestly, it's just inconvenient. And that's what we're building with Locago. Locago is the digital place to shop local. It'll feel like Etsy, but for small businesses in your neighborhood. And this is how it works. Now, Chrissy manages her inventory on a point of sale via Wix. With a direct integration with our web experience, you'll be able to shop all of her listings across the small businesses near you. You can place an order in the app and actually go to her store and pick it up, and hopefully you'll purchase more. We're designing Locago to modernize the way we shop local, just like you might an e-commerce experience. But we're also pulling in elements for you to build community directly with that store owner, as well as with your friends, influencers, as you get recommendations from people in your network. Now, we know that there are a ton of marketplaces that are operational today, but they really don't focus in on that local feeling, nor do they really focus in on small businesses. The ones that do focus in on locale are those grocery and delivery apps that you see on the screen. And that's where Locago is coming into play. We are digitally centralizing small business shopping right near you. Our go-to-market is quite simple. We will add stores by neighborhood based off of our specific categories. From there, we'll extend the reach of Chrissy from her neighborhood to the entire greater Chicago area. And over the past 10 weeks, before we even launched our web experience, we had 10 stores sign on because clearly we are addressing their pain point.
And so now we're starting to think about how do we get customers onto a marketplace. We partnered with the Chicago Run Club. We went to a bunch of different fairs across Chicago, and we've amassed a massive list of marketing partners and micro-influencers across the greater Chicago area. And we're building a pricing model to support this. At launch in the next couple of weeks, we're launching with minimum pricing with a transaction fee to cover operations. From there, we'll build something that's responsive based off of the way the customer uses the platform. A combination of a platform fee as well as a transaction fee charged to the store owners. And finally, just so you know, the typical small business owner pays around $550 a month to QuickBooks and Shopify to run their tech stack. I'll leave you with 2 reasons why, beyond what I've already said, as to why Locago is a big bet for you. For one, we have multiple parties with a high willingness to pay to see Locago succeed. Think your chambers of commerce, the US Small Business Administration. We've even met with the Evanston mayor. And beyond that, we're building the largest aggregation of orders and inventory data in a locale across point of sale systems to exist. Imagine the insights and tooling we can build for small businesses around the world. Join the Locago journey as we modernize the way you shop local. Thanks so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Valentine with ApplyRight, where we provide personalized, accessible college essay feedback for high school seniors. Interestingly enough, when I came into JumpStart, I was providing feedback on dissertations. That was until the end of week 2, when I met a student called Lysander. He was visiting the garage, and he really stood out to me because he was from a rural town in Washington, and he grew up in a single-parent household that was also low income. Because of that, he was determined to get into college to build a better life for himself and his family. He had done all of the academics and the extracurriculars he needed, but the last part, the essays to tie it all together, were still lacking. When I spoke with him, I realized we had been in a similar boat. I remembered my college application process, and while we both had essays, we didn't know how to take them from good to admittable. Because they were so personal, we couldn't find any feedback or information to know if we were headed in the right direction. That's why we needed personalized feedback, just like the other hundreds of thousands of students who are applying to college. The only problem is it's expensive. My family took on a pretty big financial burden to pay $1,400 to hire an essay consultant for me. And the worst part was that it wasn't even that helpful. And I know you're probably thinking that's a crazy amount to pay, but I'm not the only one. Over the past 10 years, the college application industry has grown 729%, employing 25,000 essay consultants. I had thought there has to be a better way to do this. But the problem is personalized feedback, by its nature, is impossible to scale. At least until AI came onto the scene. The only problem is that generative AI is terrible for writing student essays. For starters, it's unoriginal. So schools are already flagging AI-generated material in their application process. Second, it's generic. What makes student essays unique is their personal element, and AI takes that out of the element by writing students' essays for them. And it's just plain bad for the students. As much as essays are an obstacle to overcome, they're also an opportunity to reflect and grow. When I talked to Lysander, I asked him this question. I said, what if AI could give you feedback instead of writing your essays for you? And he kind of laughed at me. He was like, that would be fantastic, but I don't know if it's possible. And for you, much less in 8 weeks. What he didn't know is that I had a fantastic team that helped us get from ideation to launch in just those 2 months. Let me show you what we built. First, it's super easy for students to work with our application. They just copy and paste their essay into our ApplyRight software. Then we give them feedback in 3 steps. We start with the general. What were the major themes, and how did you apply them well, and how could you improve that? But we also contextualize that. We point out specific lines that gave the impetus for that feedback, so students understand where it's coming from. And finally, we make it actionable. We give them exercises that are personalized to the feedback we gave them on their essay, so that they can improve over time. the most important part is that our feedback is affordable. For all of that, an essay consultant would charge in excess of $1,000. But ApplyRight does it all for just $25 a month. Now, I'm sure you're all thinking, that's all well and good, but how can I trust this software? How does it even work? Well, we started with safety. None of our AI-generated feedback can actually be inputted into student essays. We make it so that's really hard. So students are going to do the writing and growth work themselves. Next, we make sure it's personalized from the get-go. As soon as a student puts their essay in, we're looking on the back end at the characteristics and traits that make them unique, and then integrating that back into our feedback. And finally, we worked with admissions departments to make sure that the feedback we're giving is high quality and reliable. Now, we've built a great product, but how are we going to put it into the world? We have 120,000 early adopters that are waiting for this product. They're like Lysander. They're highly driven, and they're looking for a solution, but they can't afford expensive consultants. To reach them, we launched a TikTok campaign, and I'm proud to say that we were able to achieve 18,000 likes and 180,000 views in just 5 weeks, and we're growing every day. That allowed us to do a soft launch with 35 users, and they loved our software, not only giving us great feedback to improve, but validating all the work we've done for the past 8 weeks. Now, we want to build on that momentum because we're in a perfect place to lead this emerging market. That's where all of you come in. We're looking for a public launch in September, just next month, and what we need the most are funds to be able to get this into the hands of the people who need it most. Coming back to those people, when we gave Lysander access to this feedback, he was very pleasantly surprised. And after incorporating it, he felt like his essay actually showed his value as an applicant. And that's exactly what success looks like for us. We want to take students from anxious to confident, and we want to make them feel comfortable with the essays they're submitting, because those are the essays that win. Thank you very much, and I hope you'll help us help students apply right. Thank you.
Hi everyone, we're Catherine and Neha, and we're the founders of Rora, a mist for external vaginal dryness. This fall, I was at a dinner where I met Wendy, a successful real estate entrepreneur. I was shocked when she told me that she was suddenly selling the business she dedicated 20 years to building. And when I asked why, it's because she told me her menopause symptoms were ruining her life. Our conversation left me saddened and made me wonder how many other women were making such dramatic changes due to menopause. We spent 10 months researching menopause, which is a hormonal shift that spans 10 years. It impacts 60 million midlife women in the US, and there's 34 symptoms associated with it. Some of those symptoms can be so severe that 25% of women, just like Wendy, will end up quitting their jobs.
And one of the most acute and painful symptoms of menopause that you likely haven't heard of is external vaginal dryness. This is when the skin gets irritated, inflamed, and dry, and it's extremely painful. Around 50% of menopausal women experience this symptom, yet only 7% go see an OBGYN about it because it's a highly stigmatized topic, and women feel embarrassed about something that's completely natural. Currently, women use makeshift solutions such as Vaseline. Either they'll go to a drugstore and get an over-the-counter, such as a cream suppository, both of which are ineffective and messy. Lastly, a small subset of patients will actually be prescribed an estrogen ointment, which doesn't provide for a really nice patient experience and can often be controversial due to cancer risks. So Catherine and I set upon a better solution. Over the last 10 weeks, we've spoken to over 200 women. We've conducted multiple prototyping sessions to understand what are the pain points of these women. We wanted to get inside their day-to-day and understand how we could make it better. We attended a leading skincare conference to understand the market at large. We invested time in understanding packaging design and design thinking. Additionally, we spent time understanding the regulatory landscape. This is an over-the-counter product, but we wanted it to be of utmost trust
and a safe product for our patients. And lastly, we did exhaustive scientific research of key chemical formulas and key scientific literature to actually create the formulation that we have today.
And with that, we bring you Rora Mist, a moisturizing mist for external vaginal dryness due to menopause. Our innovative mist solves for the psychological barrier associated with ointments and creams because there's no need to touch yourself, something our customers have told us they don't feel comfortable doing. Our formula is science-backed, leveraging hero ingredients like hyaluronic acid and aloe vera to provide instant hydration and stop dryness in its tracks. And most importantly, our brand works to flip the script on menopause and celebrate this unique phase of life.
We've validated our formula with leading OBGYNs who are certified by the National Association, or the North American Menopause Society, as well as vulvovaginal dermatologists who have told us that our products are both safe and effective, as well as meeting an unmet need for their current patients. In terms of pricing, we feel confident that Rora Mist can garner a premium price point. We've validated this through one-on-one customer research, as well as a targeted ad campaign in which we saw similar click-through rates across different price points. We're confident that women are willing to pay for a product that is effective and has high-quality ingredients.
We've also driven nearly 16,000 customers to our site through both paid and organic efforts. By running targeted ad campaigns, we've been able to optimize our customer acquisition cost by 50%. We've also established ourselves as a thought leader in the menopause space, writing an educational newsletter about women's health and menopause, and driving organic traffic to our site. Through these efforts, we've been able to develop a pre-sale list of 150 women ready to check out the moment we launch. And at our launch, we're estimating that we'll be profitable on our first batch of 2,500 units. You'll notice that our cost per unit is high at $25. That's because we're investing in R&D efforts and fully owning our intellectual property to establish a moat around Rora. We'll use the profits from batch 1 to invest in batch 2, which will only have a cost per unit of $5, resulting in a 65% profit margin. At this point, we've validated every major assumption across the business, ranging from formulation, regulatory, and customer and marketing. And we simply just need the upfront capital to kickstart production. If you're excited about what we're building here at Rora, we'd love for you to join us on our mission to empower women at every age and phase of life. Thank you.
All right, let's give another round of applause for all the progress the team's made. So now it's your turn to vote for the audience favorite vote. We'll put up a QR code here on the screen. I know we have some people live streaming at home, so we're going to give you a few minutes to vote. And in the meantime, here in person, Carly's going to hand out some fun gifts.
First. All right, it's a t-shirt toss. Who wants one? It's a little dark. Keep your eyes open. All right, that's it.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Get on
fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. Get on board. We're soaring on top of the world. Get on board. We're soaring on top of the world.
All right, we are ready to announce the prize winners. Thank you all for your audience favorite votes. We had nearly 200 votes in just 2 minutes, so it was very competitive. With that, we're ready to announce, and first we're going to announce the audience favorite award, which goes to Locago. There you go, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, now it's time for our top 3 prizes. Starting with third place, winning an additional $2,500 is also Locago. Racking in the money. It's $2,500. There's an edit there. Coming in second place and winning $5,000 is HaptE. All right, and that leaves our grand prize winner for JumpStart Demo Day 2024. Coming in first place and winning $10,000 is Rora. Congratulations to all of our winning teams and all the JumpStart participants this summer. All right. Thank you all for joining.